If anybody's wanting to colour in, of any age, you fancy colouring in, then on you go. It's okay. I'm sure you'll hear me. Do you want to colour in? It's over there. Colour in some nice pictures, and whatever one I think's the best, I'll give you a biscuit. Good man, Xander. Right, the universities reveal a great problem in our lives, because the 3 oldest degrees that you find in the universities all over the ancient university system are 1. Medicine, 2. Law, and 3. Theology. Medicine, law, and theology. All 3 of those get fixed in that second reading. If you are a doctor, a lawyer, or a preacher, the Lord Jesus, because of the resurrection, is going to get you a P45. Okay? You are working for a great P45. So first of all, why are these 3 things very important? And then I'll explain why the second reading takes care of all 3. There's really only 3 types of relationship any of you can have. The first is the relationship you have with yourself. And you know about that. That's what you're thinking when you look at yourself in the mirror. That's what you're thinking when you look at a diary and then you reflect, should I do that? Was that right? Is that wrong? That's you with yourself. And you'll know sometimes you get on quite well with yourself. But if you're like the rest of us, there's maybe other times you become quite cross with yourself. In fact, you get quite angry. Some of us would go as far as to have a breakdown with ourselves. In the ancient world, humans recognised that. That's why in the universities they put medicine. Because they recognised not only are we able to break physically, literally break because of accidents, and also literally break as we age and things change in our bodies and disease develops and takes over, we also break on the inside, in our heads, in our thinking. So humans, for a very long time, recognised we break on the outside, we break on the inside, we get on with ourselves quite often. We also spend lots of the time not getting on with ourselves. Oh my, what can we do to fix that? I know someone said, let's practice medicine. And so that's been getting practiced ever since. But it's not just yourself you relate to, is it? There's a neighbour on the other side of the hedge. There's a colleague across the other side of the desk or in another room. There's a family member at the end of the phone, or maybe a family member sitting across from you at the kitchen table, and you cannot say you always get on with them either. Not only do we sometimes start to struggle with ourselves, but we start to struggle with other people. That's the second kind of relationship a human being can have. So you can relate to yourself, we all do it, and we try to relate to other people. And what happens when that goes bad? Do we phone the doctor? No. We phone the lawyer. We phone the lawyer and we say, you know, they've just stopped me from being able to do this. Is that right? Have they a right to do that? They're saying I'm no longer able to do that. Is that right? And all of a sudden, this new job appears in your life, the lawyer, and the lawyer says, well, they're allowed to do this, but you're allowed to say that. So we will make sure you get what is right for you. People from ancient times understood that's what we're like with one another. Yeah, we get on with one another some of the time, but we spend an awful lot of time fighting with one another. And somebody said, I know, let's study law. And then that way we'll all make a better go at getting on. The third relationship. Are you there? My loved one's really, really ill. Are you there? I feel I've really ruined something and no amount of saying sorry is going to make it better. Are you there? You know, people have been asking that question from day one. And that's why all over the world you'll see that humans, in their attempt to find God, make temples and carve ridiculous statues. I mean, architecturally speaking, artistically speaking, these temples are beautiful to look at, but they're empty of God. God's not there. They're man-made creations. And they're found all through history, and they're found all over the world. Why? Because people recognize there's another break in us. Am I alone here? Is there anyone able to lift my burden here? Can anyone really forgive me here? Or do I just need to rely on the happy pills? I'm feeling terrible. Is it just the doctor that's going to make me feel better? Is it just the lawyer that's going to make me feel better? Or is there something this preacher says that can make me feel better? I don't need to be defined by sin. If I come to this Messiah that he speaks of, I'll be lifted up. This one that he says is unlimited in his provision and unlimited in his grace. And well, for those of us that stand on the seashore and say, yes, I will follow, I hear this Lord's voice, then you discover the third, and maybe the most important relationship of all, with the Lord himself, and you get a living relationship with God. And here's the thing that connects all three. When you are right with God, and you've put your trust in Jesus, and you've let him take care of your sin, and you're looking to him for tomorrow, and what comes next, you are leaning on him. Here's what happens to the other two relationships. You begin to find you get on with other people better. You'll not burn with rage and want to throttle them. You'll put your arm out and embrace them. And here's the other thing, you'll start to be able to live with yourself better. You'll be able to love yourself properly instead of loving yourself as an idol at the center of the universe. The reason the children have put out the paper and the reason why they're going to be collected when the offering's being collected is because by doing this exercise, you're going to be given a person's name. And you could pray anything for them. They might walk up to you at coffee and say, would you pray for me about this over the coming week? And that person will do it. But see, even if you don't, here's a prayer they might just offer. They might say, Lord, thank you for them. Please let them know you love them. Because once they know that, once they know your spirit with them and the love of your Son, they're going to love other people better. And they're going to love themselves properly. You're going to love other people better, and you're going to love yourself properly.